Hello, fourth graders. You should have your word collectors out and ready to go. We are going to learn about our vocab for Unit 3, Week 4. Our story for this week is called Eye of the Storm. So again, you have your word collectors out, pencils ready to learn some new vocab. Eye of the Storm. Okay, so if you need to rewind our video at all, if you need to pause it, fast forward to a certain part that you missed, go ahead and do that and continue filling out your word collector. Thanks for being active learners. Our first word for this week is forecasts. So a sentence using the word forecasts is, a child made these daily forecasts. Okay, so if we look at this picture, these are illustrations done by a student, a child. Okay, so you can see at the top we have the days of the week. And then we have some different icons. Okay, we have clouds, we have sun, a lightning bolt, some raindrops. Okay, so based on these picture clues in this sentence, I want you to think about, what does the word forecast mean? So forecasts are predictions or statements about what is coming. Okay, so if we look at this picture, I included another picture right here. This is a weather forecast that you may see on the news. Okay, a lot of times they'll give you a 7-day forecast. So Monday through Sunday, what to expect in the weather. Okay, and so you can see in this picture, just like the one we just looked at, there's different icons to show the weather. So there's a sun, there's some lightning bolts, some rain, some clouds, and then they also are including that temperature at the bottom. Okay. So I want you to think about, why are weather forecasts important? Okay, why is it important for us to know what's coming when it comes to the weather? Okay, why might forecasts be important? Maybe you look at the forecasts your parents do at night on the news to see what you might need for the next day. Okay, that might be important to know that, oh, tomorrow it's going to snow. I'm going to need my snow boots when I go to school. Okay, so forecasts are predictions or statements about what is coming. Our next word is expected. A sentence using the word expected is, a thunderstorm was expected. Okay, so if we look at this picture, we see a man with an umbrella. He looks like he has some kind of tool, maybe used for the weather. And he's looking up at the sky. What do you think he is expecting? Expected means thought something would probably happen. Okay, so if we think about that picture we just looked at, that man is looking up at the sky, thinking that something is probably about to happen. Okay, we see him with an umbrella, so that gives us a clue that maybe he is expecting rain. Okay, so the word expected is just the past tense form of the word expect. Okay, so I expected it to rain, or I expect it to rain. So it's just the past tense form of expect. So I want you to think about, how would you finish this sentence frame? When my pet lizard escaped from his cage, I expected blank. Okay, so if you had a pet lizard and it escaped from its cage, what would you expect to happen? Okay, maybe you wouldn't be able to find the lizard. You would expect it to be hiding somewhere. Okay, you would expect it maybe to run away. Maybe you would expect it to hide. Okay, thinking about what would probably happen. Our next word is surge. A sentence using the word surge is, the surge was caused by strong winds. Okay, so if you look at this picture, you can see some really big waves in what's probably the ocean. Okay, the surge was caused by strong winds. So what do you think the word surge means? A surge is a swelling motion or sweep or rush, especially of waves. So if we look at these two pictures, these are two other pictures of examples of a surge. Okay, so you can see that these waves are making a swelling motion or a rush or a sweep. Okay, So think about does this look like a daily occurrence, or do you think this is something that would happen during a storm? Okay, or like a hurricane or a tsunami. Okay, so think about, why would a hurricane likely create a storm surge? Okay, so why might a hurricane create waves or a surge of waves like this? Okay. Our next word is the word inland or inland. You can see that this word is a compound word. Okay, we have the word in and we have the word land. The arrows in this picture are showing an area that is inland, okay, or inland. So if we look right here, there's some arrows. Okay, so think about what inland means. So inland means in or toward the interior. So that picture we just looked at, the arrows were pointed toward the interior or the inside of this island. So inland would not be on the coast. Inland would not be by the ocean. Okay, it would not be the coast part. It would be the land, inland. Okay. So think about, is the region we live in inland or on the coast? Okay, so think about, do we live by a coast? The answer would be no. In Blue Prairie, we do not live by a coast of an ocean or a really, really big lake. Okay, we would be considered inland, okay, or inland. So we are away from any kind of water, any kind of coast. We would be considered inland. Our next word is destruction. A storm caused this destruction. So if you look at this picture, you see piles and piles of things that look like they could be from houses, right? We see a bike there. We see siding from houses, refrigerators, broken furniture. Okay, so think about, what does the word destruction mean? And also think about, is there a theme kind of in our words so far? Is there a common theme between all of our vocabulary words? So destruction is great damage or ruin. Great damage or ruin. So here's a few more pictures of some destruction. Okay, this destruction is likely caused by storms. Okay, or a natural disaster. So I want you to think about, what kinds of destruction does a storm cause? What objects might a storm destroy? So you can use these clues to kind of help you think about that, to give you some clues. Okay. What objects might a storm destroy and cause destruction? Our next word is shatter. A light bulb will shatter easily. So if you look at this picture, it is kind of the moment that a light bulb is shattering into a bunch of little pieces. Okay, so think about, what does shatter mean? So shatter means break into pieces suddenly. So if we look at these pictures, we have a picture of a window that has been shattered. And then the other picture is a picture of what looks like just glass that has been shattered. Okay, so I want you to think about, what things might shatter in a bad storm. So if a bad storm came through, what might break into pieces suddenly? What might shatter because of that storm? You probably think of right away of windows or glass, things that are glass. We think of shattering into pieces. Okay, could maybe a door shatter? If the wind was strong enough, could it break into pieces suddenly? Okay, could wood shatter or break into pieces suddenly? Okay, glass could shatter. Things that would be breakable could shatter into pieces suddenly in a bad storm. All right, kiddos, that is our last vocab word for this week. And think about that theme. Hopefully you thought of that all of our words this week feature things that are similar to storms. Okay? Because our story this week is